SGA starts out slow. He started out really slow tonight, right? He was terribly started. 2 of 8 from the floor, but guess what?
2 of 13, yeah.
Finishes with 31 and 9 assists and 5 rebounds. When they needed him in the second half, he was terrific, right? So even a bad start, he turned into a great finish, right? You would forget about that bad start. He still finds a way to play great even when the first half of the game doesn't go his way. I know we're going to get a great consistent series out of SGA, but with Ant Edwards, I'm not. There's a couple of times a series where he has games where he needs to be more, whether it's more leadership, more shots, more confidence. He needs to be a little more. He blends in a little too much sometimes, and a couple of times in a series is all it takes for you to go home. Now, it's happened a couple of times, but they've been the better team overall. They were peaking coming into the playoffs. But this is where it comes down and it bites you in the ass because you're playing the best team in the playoffs that you have faced so far. The Thunder have been far and away better. They've been the best team in the playoffs so far in general.
Well, but that's the thing, right? Even going back to last series, even though it ends up getting stretched out to 7 games, you had very long stretches like, wow, they're dominating. Right? They're just absolutely taking the Nuggets up and down the court, pillar to post, and then you'd have a stretch where suddenly nothing went right and we've got ourselves games, and you have the dramatic finishes that we saw for a couple of the W's with Aaron Gordon and the chaos that ensued. But you watched it here. It's ball hawking, and early on, you're not relying on the three-point shot. You're being aggressive, attacking the rim, and we saw that. That was the constant, right? You had a lot of the Timberwolves possessions and a lot of empty possessions. First quarter should have been a blowout big lead for the T-Wolves, but they had 7 turnovers, right? The attacking style of the Thunder defense, they fill the passing lanes, long arms, keep at it and aggressive. And then you start getting into some of those questions of, early whistles affecting things. Gobert was called for 2 fouls pretty fast. The second one was just a dumb reach-in and push when he didn't need to, concede that you missed the layup and move on, which forces you to the bench, and we had to start seeing a deeper rotation. But all of that to say, your point about SGA, he stayed aggressive. 2 of 13, but he lived at the foul line and continued to live at the foul line as the night wore on, and you saw no answers. Outside of the early heroics from Julius Randle, you couldn't buy a bucket from the outside.
Ant Edwards, 5 points in the third quarter when a 4-point lead went to a 10-point deficit. 0 points in the fourth quarter. Zero. When his team needed him, when he needed to be more, he disappeared.
Can you sing Randy Van Warmer for me?
Just when I needed you most. 5 out of 13. He took 13 shots tonight.
He took one shot in the fourth quarter.
He took 13 shots. When you're down 10 going to the fourth quarter, 1 shot. He can't take over with the consistency that SGA and other players take over, right? He can't take over like SGA does. He can't take over like Jalen Brunson. He has moments, and he has games where, wow, he's the best player on the floor.
Where he does.
And he is feeling it. But the thing is he's got to have – when you're not feeling it, you still got to find a way. Right? You're the best player on the team. If you're not feeling it, I'm sorry, you got to find a way, whether it is getting to the free throw line, whether it's, hey, I'm not going to take threes, right? It's not my night from 3. Whatever it's going to be, you have to find a way. And Edwards just has games where he just doesn't try to do that. And this is a game where down by 10 going to fourth. Yeah, Julius Randle did all he could. He scored 20 points in the first half. He got you up by 4. You had 5 threes. That's not going to continue. And yet he became too much of a wallflower, right? I mean, this is why Ant Edwards, everyone wants to crown him, he's the next Michael Jordan. No, he has stretches where he is terrific. He has games where he's unbelievable, but it's not consistent enough. And he needs to be more consistent. And this is why I picked the Thunder, because I said you're going to get a more consistently great series from SGA than Ant Edwards. This has come up in the playoffs before. Remember, it was just 10 days ago in the last series where the T-Wolves were a little upset, and Chris Finch was upset with the effort he got from Ant Edwards in an early loss.
He called him Juan Soto.
Remember here, you're not hustling on that grounder. This was Chris Finch about a week and a half ago, early on in the Nuggets series. Say, hey, I need a little bit more out of you.
What is there to talk about? I mean, you're the leader of the team, and you got to come out and set the tone, in all ways that happens. And if your shot's not going, like you still have to carry the energy, So I don't think if I got to talk to guys about having the right energy coming into opening second round game, then we're not we're not on the same page. So.
I mean, that was from 10 days ago, and that's what you say tonight. Setting the tone, being a leader, being the guy to say, we're going to win on my shoulders. Like, he doesn't do that with the consistency. Everybody knows it's his team. Julius Randle's not going to get upset. Okay, Rudy Gobert's not going to get upset if this happens, right? It's your team. Hey, you got to be the guy to do it. Your best player, if you're going to win in the playoffs for anything, your best player needs to be your best player.
Well, it's like we talked about when the Warriors went down. There was no fight out of Jimmy Butler, right? A guy that you were expecting playoff Jimmy didn't appear, and he's leaving games with 8 shots, 10 shots. No, he's supposed to be the guy with Steph Curry sideline that he's going to pick it up. With Anthony Edwards, curious here, do we get any update? Because he did have the ankle issue earlier in this game, but he played 37 minutes. So you can only, put a small asterisk next to anything as we try to await anything there. But he's, 2 of 5 in the third quarter and then 0 for 1 in the fourth. Still logging 37 minutes. You had for his shots of the night, he's 5 of 13. Julius Randle goes 9 of 13. Most of that damage done in that first quarter. And then DiVincenzo was 3 of 14. His jump shot was absolutely broken because he had a lot of wide open looks. Because that's the other part of this. Will you shoot as poorly? I don't know. You've got guys closing out and attacking, and I get that. They shot 34.9% from the field. And a lot of those shots, wide open looks. Mm-hmm. So will it go the other way and you get some normalization? Maybe, but the Anthony Edwards thing, you can't solve.
No.
Like that is the biggest enigma in sports right now, is to game which type of effort you're going to get.
Your best player has to find a way to affect the game even when it's not his night. And it's not that if Ant Edwards was 5 out of 24, I would say, you know what?
Go down swinging.
Not his night.
No, that's right.
If Dante DiVincenzo is 5 of 24, it's, dude, you need to shoot less. Come on. But here's your best player, right? It's almost like when I look at a night like this from Edwards and see how passive he was and not setting the tone, doing all of this, like there's not being able to affect the game, and there's basically holding back from trying to affect the game. When you're down 10 going to the fourth quarter, this is where Ant Edwards has to say, you know what? Now I got this. I got this now. I'm going to bring us back. It was because this game was there for them, right? You can only give away, so many games in a series. And really, at this point, you can't give away any. But this game was there for Minnesota because it's a 4-point lead at halftime, and Ant Edwards hadn't played his best basketball. So, okay, it's there for you. And then instead in the second half, 5 points. Like it was a gift, and I'm only going to take a handful of shots.
Well,